It seems, first of all, the will they, won't they thing has been going on, and it looks like it's going to continue to go on, right? That the ACC and Stanford and Cal are like the Cheers version of Sam and Diane, or Ross and Rachel, I guess, for more recent. Right, that they are the will they, won't they? Are they going to get together? They're perfect for each other? Oh, they're terrible for each other. Oh, they need each other. Oh, they're better without. There's a real will they, won't they thing going on. And to me, Stanford and Cal are not being desperate enough. They're not groveling enough. They're not asking enough. They're not begging enough. The ACC, they're very obviously on the fence about bringing in Stanford and Cal. Right? Because we're getting reports of these teams want in, these teams don't want them. Notre Dame is asking everyone to bring them in. Florida State is voting no. This team's voting no. That team's voting no. This team's saying, where's our financial benefit of bringing them in? How much of a boost are we going to get? And so we know that they're having legit questions. Matter of fact, here's Adam Rittenberg, ESPN college football writer and insider, on why the ACC is hesitant to add Cal and Stanford.
The Big Ten could have added them, and they said no. They did that twice. And, just from a broadcasting, a branding standpoint, Cal and Stanford don't move the needle as much as the schools that have moved conferences from the Pac-12, UCLA, USC, Oregon, Washington. They're not there in the eyes of the broadcasting companies, media companies, but they're great academic schools. They're incredible overall athletic departments, especially Stanford, but even Cal. Both of those places supply a lot of Olympians
to
the U.S. teams and even international teams. And so I think there's certainly some attractiveness from the president's standpoint to be affiliated with them, but it's also a logistical challenge of having to send all your teams to the Bay Area.
Yeah, that's true.
It's going to be expensive, and they don't exactly pay for themselves like some of these other additions have.
Here's why they're not being desperate enough, right? All of those reasons are legit for the Atlantic Coast Conference, right? Will they, should they, are they going to? Yes, no. And the ACC can have all the debates they want. Stanford and Cal, there's an article on ESPN.com right now. It says, as Stanford and Cal await a decision from the ACC about possible membership, the Mountain West Conference remains on standby, ready to respond however those dominoes fall. The Mountain West Conference has found itself in a position of strength and stands as a potential landing spot for the remaining 4 Pac-12 schools, that being Cal, Stanford, Oregon State, and Washington State. Now, here's my analogy there. And if you've been listening to the show, I love an analogy. Did you watch Entourage, Graham, or is that before your time?
Probably before my time.
So it's all about a movie star, right? Think like it's Wahlberg or Leo DiCaprio, something like that, right? That's the main character. And a lot of it has to do with the interactions with his agent. And during a downturn in this movie star's, Vinny Chase, for those of you who know what we're talking about, downturn in his career, the agent presents him with job offers. And one of them's like, you can be the fun uncle in a Mary-Kate and Ashley movie. You can star along Beethoven, the big old dog, right? And then he hits him with, this would be funny, right? These offers we could laugh about if they didn't think they could actually get you, right? These like made-for-TV, direct-to-VHS movies, if they offered you a role, we could sit here and talk about them and we could laugh about them if they didn't think you would actually consider taking these roles, which makes it a little sad, right? A little bit of a problem.
Yeah.
We need to build your career back up to the point where, right, Scorsese and Spielberg want to work with you, not a big old dog in a movie about like the hijinks of children. If I'm Stanford and Cal, having the Mountain West waiting for you, it's like, that could be funny, right? Ah, ha, ha. They're going to put you alongside Utah State and San Diego State. Ha, ha, ha. Except they actually think they can get you, right? They're waiting because if the ACC doesn't bend or break and let you in, they think they can get you. So that's a problem, right? If the options out there for Stanford and Cal are the low rung on the ladder in the Atlantic Coast Conference or the top dog in the Mountain West, the answer better be the ACC by a mile. Right? That's like saying, or asking a baseball player, do you want to be the eighth in the batting lineup in the bigs, or do you want to be batting third in AAA? No disrespect to AAA. Everyone with a brain is taking the major leagues, right? No disrespect to the Bulls, but I'm going to the bigs. Right? Unless the Mountain West takes the Pac-12's place in the Power 5 and they get things like the auto bid to the an eventual expanded college football playoff or more media money, unless that happens, you take the ACC every single time and you make it happen. You grovel if you need to. You beg if you need to. You make offers if you need to. And I'm curious as to why we're not getting those reports. Right? All we hear about is the ACC debating. Well, should they? Well, like, when is Stanford and Cal going to come back to the negotiation table with, if you're still on the fence, we can do this. We can provide that. Like, what do you need us to do? If I'm the ACC at this point, I might even call their bluff. Like, you want to go to the Mountain West? Fine. This is the best you can do. This is the best offer you can accept, or this is the most you're willing to do for us. All right, go to the Mountain West. We'll talk to you later. If we're looking for a group of 5, non-conference opponents, so we can, get ourselves a W, we'll call you up in a few years. That's where it stands. When you need the money because you're sitting with a Mountain West media deal, let us know. We'll kick you a couple hundred grand to come play against us. That's how a group of 5 teams get treated. They're the pay games, right? They're the buy games. So I'm waiting for the reports that Stanford and Cal are doing something that shows me they understand the urgency of the situation. Right? I can understand the ACC being hesitant. At this point, I think they need to be decisive, right? Either do the thing or get off the pot, if you know what I'm saying. But I don't know why Stanford and Cal wouldn't be urgent. The options are drying up. Oh, the Big Ten might want them. No. The Big 12 might want them. You want to go to the Big 12. They got 1 billion teams in the Big 12, and you'd be, I think the Big 12 is getting a lot of credit for kind of saving themselves. Make no mistake about it, they were reeling when Texas and Oklahoma left or announced they're leaving, and they will be reeling when they do leave. If I'm Stanford and Cal, I'm desperate for the Atlantic Coast Conference.